In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your labels and buttons for your user interface on your Timer app. First thing you're going to want to do is use this wonderful horizontal layout tool, which is kind of a brand new tool. First time we've been using this in an app. And this allows us to place several things on the same line. And we're going to place 3 labels on that same line. We're going to place one label on it, then we're going to place another label on it, and you'll notice to place the second label on it, it's kind of hard. You can't be too hot, can't be too cold. You have to get it just right, just like Goldilocks. You got to get it right in there. And again, I'm going to do that again for the label, where I don't want to be too cold, don't want to be too hot, want to get it right in there. Notice I could place it here or here, but where that blue line is, but I'm going to place it at the end. No blue line. I just drop it down, and oh shoot, I used the wrong thing. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to put in a label, not the checkbox, a label. Okay, not too hot, not too cold, not there, right there. Let go. Boom. I now have 3 labels in there. Now it's important that I label the labels exactly right. The reason this is important is because that code I gave you, that templated code, requires the labels to be named a certain thing. And if you delete or have problems with the labels, this is actually going to cause you some trouble. So it's important that you label these exactly right. The first label, it's important that you name it label minute. Label minute, capital M. And when you have label minute done, you'll hit OK, and boom, you'll have label minute. Now, I'm also going to change that label minute to be a 1, which is going to be our starting position. I'm also going to change the font size to be 36 on the label minute. Then I'm going to go to label 2, and on label 2, it doesn't matter what I call it, because it's not connected to a template, but I'm going to put in this semicolon in there. I'm going to make its font size 36, and I'm going to it's just going to be a colon to separate the minutes from the second. Then this other label, it's important that you name it exactly right. So I'm going to go to the end of the line here, and I'm going to name it label seconds with an S, O-N-D-S. Notice I use a capital S. I put it right after the label 3. I got rid of the 3 and just changed that to a seconds. I hit OK, and boom, now I have a label minute, label seconds. I'm going to change that to a 00. I'm going to change its font size to also be 36. Now I'm going to mess with this horizontal arrangement tool so that it centers the letters and it takes up the entire width. So I'm going to click on width, and I'm going to tell the width to fill the parent. Now the width fills the parent, and then I'm also going to make it so that it's yellow in the background, so it kind of sets itself apart. Now if I were to run it on the phone, it would look like this. So I'd have that 1 minute set in the center, just like it kind of looks on this display too. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another horizontal layout tool, and I'm going to place it beneath the 1 minute, but if you wanted to change it later and put it above, you sure could. It depends on what you want your interface to look like. And I'm going to drag down my first button in that, oh, notice I dragged down by accident a vertical arrangement tool. I'm going to delete that vertical arrangement tool, and I have to start all over and lay down a horizontal arrangement tool, or shoot. Now, I'm going to drop in my first button, which is going to be the minute plus button. So I'm going to call it minute, M-I-N, and plus, P-L-U-S. That's how I'm just going to label it. So minute plus button, and then in the minute plus button, I'm just going to put plus M-I-N. Then I'm going to drag in another button, and I can't go too high, too low. I got to get it just in there. Notice I can even put it in here and really mess stuff up. So I'm going to make sure I get it right in there, and then that's going to be my minute. I'm going to keep the word button. I'm going to delete the 1. I'm going to call it minute and then minus. And notice how I'm using camel case for that. And then I'm going to change the text to say minus sign space capital M-I-N. Then next button I'm going to drag in, not too high, not too low, not too high. Get it just in there. I'm going to name that button reset, because I'm going to use that button to reset the time to a minute. So I'm going to say reset 1 minute, and that is the reset 1 minute button. Then I'm going to drag another button in there. Boom. Now I have going to rename that one, and and I'm going to call that one minute. Or no, now I'm on second, so I'm going to call that second, and I'm going to call that plus, and that's going to add a second, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go plus SEC. Beautiful. And then I'm going to create another button. I'm going to drag that one in there. Not too high, not too low, just right. And I'm going to call that button, I'm going to rename it so I know what it is. I'm going to call it second, and then minus, second minus. And I got that in there, and then in the text I'm going to go minus space SEC. Now I'm going to use that horizontal arrangement tool again to align everything in the center. I'm also going to have it so that it fills the parent. And now you can see the buttons are kind of in the middle, and they're kind of spaced nice. Here's what it looks like on my phone. You'll notice when I press the buttons, they still don't do anything. The reason they don't do anything is because I haven't written any code for them yet. So it's not unusual that they don't do anything yet.